It's just
I mean,
boring.
shameless little plug, but the song we made for Wish Valley, World, that's essentially what my verse is about. The whole verse is about me entering into the world with ADHD and being forced to take medication because they think it's going to help out. And then things start to change later on in the verse when I like essentially get off the pills, when they change to like, there's a part I'm like, grew accustomed to the chemicals that soon evolved into the edibles. That's like referencing I stopped taking pills and then went to like smoke weed or essentially whatever rhymed. But yeah, that's what that verse is actually about, is dealing and kind of being told like you're different. A lot something that's
Facts. Spit
always
that I'm different shit. That's where I was gonna go
something
with
that's
it.
like really fucked me up in my whole life is I've always felt different. I've always like just normal shit doesn't make sense to me. I've always felt like I'm just I don't know how to really go into it. So I've okay, so there's this like frame, right? And in this frame, it's like the perfect idea image. And it's like you're born, you grow up, you learn like family values, this, that, the next thing. You go to school, you go through that, you meet the guy or the girl, you marry set guy or girl, you get the fucking dog, whatever, the cat, you have the kids, and then like that's just what life is, right? Like I felt like that was something that's always been hanging over my head, and I just don't fit into that frame.
Yeah, bro. Spit
And
that shit.
I've always just like felt not myself. I've always felt like I had to walk certain paths because it was what we were supposed to do, and that really fucked me up because I don't know who I am in a sense. Like, just to be brutally honest, it's like if we had a conversation about who Christopher Johnson is and who Chris Chrome is, it's like I can have that conversation. I can tell you things about what I value, what I like, what I don't like, what I think is right and wrong, what I agree with and what I disagree with. But the idea, like, I overthink a lot of things and I overanalyze a lot of things, and I get into this like weird, and I call it like an ADHD loop where I just like spiral out of control, like thinking of every possibility of just whatever it is. Like it could be like just anything, just overthinking. And it's like I go beyond. I don't feel like I'm going beyond what I'm supposed to. I don't know. I don't even know how I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to explain. It's like I just don't feel like myself, or at
I feel
least.
like, yo, bro, here's the thing. I be up in the corporate spheres of life, and my
Mm,
haircut might not be everybody's favorite. And my best theory is 20 years ago, they had to cut their hair, and I got to where I am without cutting my hair. And I don't think people like that kind of shit. There's this weird symptom across the American culture over here. I include Canada in this because let's be real, we're like state 51. If we're being real, maybe there's like six more states, whatever. Um, but like people be wildly like okay, let's bring it back to the grandma. The grandma would be like, I had to walk 2 miles to fucking school to blah blah blah. And it's like the point
right.
is like I had to suffer and I earned some blah blah blah. You see it a lot with old heads in hip hop. They be like, I had to suffer before I was allowed to win. Therefore it's like you
Right.
almost have to like suffer too to be allowed to win. And it's like you have to pay these dues and it's all to chase a certain like path. And then the wild part is I remember growing up with all these like colorful signs in like elementary school, primary school, back when they
Right.
did this shit.
Right.
Be
Right.
yourself. You're special. Like really like indulging. Like,
Just quick tangent. I would read those signs, and it's like there's a part of my brain that goes, "This is true. I am
yeah,
special." Ba ba ba. But then there's like another part of my brain just overwhelmingly going, "Why are you fucking lying to me?" Like I've always felt
nah,
like
you're
I'd
pretty
read these
special.
positive signs
Look
and
at
be
you,
like,
Mr.
"Why are you
Video
fucking
Editor,
lying to
man.
me?"
Flipping his
Like
call center job into like corporate shit, being all fantastic
I,
and special.
and that's the thing. It's like when you say that, and I look back at it, I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like I am pretty special. Like I do
Honestly,
some special things, but it's this interior, like inside feeling that it's like
well,
I
it's
don't
because
know.
motherfuckers be using wildly bad metrics of success to like determine wins. Like people who be bragging on 50,000 views. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. Um, it's like that's the situation we in. People don't understand like just the concept of success is so wildly different than like to each person than like a standardized way could do it. But then you look at like how I call this shit middle class normative behavior because frankly, for the longest time, the middle class is the majority of people, right? So like from an
Right.
electoral voting perspective, all the cultural pandering is going to that group of people because like the poor people aren't populated enough except for in certain districts and in certain concentrations. So it's usually not nationwide shit and the rich people are not populated enough. So it's like you got this middle class thing that created these core cultures, right? And there's like weird ass expectations, in my opinion, that go into that lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle, and it is like the what you were describing before. It's like you find a career path based off of some education, and then you find a partner. I'll be like more whatever inclusive, and you then acquire an animal or child or two or three or whatever. You cop house one, you get promoted. This is and at this point is where your life gets fucked up. You cop a second house, the mortgage too. Now your life is fucked and you're a slave to a system until you die. And it's like all freedom gets sucked out because for some reason you could just never afford to like it's just a cycle of acquiring
Yep.
this next level and then you gotta chase that bigger bag to get like honestly just the most arbitrary shit and the way most people play it is so safe and shit. Like to me a house is a safe ass investment. It's a sure investment. It's still a safe ass investment. There might be better
Right.
investments if you can bank on yourself to be more interesting than a house and then get a house later. Like, you want to know my dream, Chris? I want to
Hmm.
pay for the house in cash. Not necessarily in bills, because that seems a little superfluous, but up
Right.
front. Done. Get the fuck out of here.